my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Well, today in Baby Talk, we explore the importance that music and pretend play has for the development of toddlers. Now, to talk to us more about this is Meg Forer, infant specialist and occupational therapist. Laura Schoenfeld is here as well, who together created an album or CD called Dinosaur Stomp and Other Pretend Play Songs. The songs encourage the little ones to pretend to be different characters, from firemen to butterflies. Each and every song will ignite the imagination and allow them to learn while having fun. Meg, Laura, so good to have you on the show this morning. This is so amazing. Before we get into the CD or the album, let's first talk about the power that music has for the developing brain, Meg.
Yeah, so music is incredibly important. I mean, first of all, it gets little ones moving.
Yes.
And we know that's important just from a perspective of health, so they don't become overweight, watching screens all the time. It's also wonderful in terms of coordination, and it also ignites their imagination, because when you're singing songs, you actually can become the characters. So it really is wonderful for little ones.
And what is the importance, Laura, of pretend play when it comes to toddlers?
You know, pretend play is really a super skill that more and more is actually being left out of our schooling programs, because we focus on the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s, but it is really powerful for the brain. Because when I pretend to be someone else, I'm actually starting to move from concrete reasoning to abstract reasoning. I'm starting to use symbols. So a hat, I put on the hat and I really become the fireman. And that actually lays the foundation for reading, for writing, because letters are symbols. It's also very good for creativity. And when I'm playing pretend, I have to pick up on Meg's social cues. I have to say, oh, she's not liking that, let's give her a different role. And we sometimes talk about how little people become CEOs because I'm having to plan something, I'm having to give you all a role, I'm having to execute it.
That's powerful.
Yeah, so they really are developing so many skills and creativity, which is,
That's awesome. Let's talk about the CD that you're holding in your hand, which is Dinosaur Stomp and Other Pretend Play Songs. Why did you think it was so important to come up with something like this, and what went into the production of the CD?
It was important because we have a little school curriculum, so we have 30 little play groups through Play Sense, and we wanted the music that tied in with all of the different themes. So for instance, the children will learn about the firemen, and then we wanted the song to go with it. And so that's really where Lara came in, and she can probably take you through how she put it together.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so each verse also will talk about the actions and enable the children to really practice this role. And then there's a break between each verse, which allows the teacher or the parent to say, oh, the next verse, remember you need your fire hose, we're going to put out the fire now. So it's been carefully constructed, really high quality music in the background. And you know, children learn through repetition. When we sing, we slow music down, which means it develops their language as well.
I think it's also really important for parents to get involved as well. I think, you know, because we're so busy in our daily lives, it's easy to just, you know, throw a bunch of toys at your child, or maybe put a piece of technology in front of them. But this really gets you involved in the process as well, which I think is a very powerful bonding moment too.
It is so powerful, you're right, and unfortunately it's something we're starting to lose as adults, because our life is so much taken up with tick the boxes and get the right food and get them to bed on time, pick them up from school, whatever it is, that we forget to actually play. And one of the best parts about pretend play is that adults can also become that.
I love that.
So, you know, these songs are amazing because it actually draws the adults into to be the fireman with the child, or to be the Eskimo exploring the igloo in one of the tracks. So we want parents to play with their little ones. We think it's incredibly important.
And it also takes the seriousness out of life for us as adults. We're so serious sometimes, you know? It's just nice to just be a child again, which is wonderful. Well, we've got Meg and Laura. It is our Baby Talk segment, and we're talking about the importance of music and pretend play in a child or toddler's life. It's all about sparking that imagination and getting the creativity going. We'll catch up with them after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Meg Forer, who is our regular guest on the show, as well as Laura Schoenfeld. Thank you so much for being here. Such interesting things that we're touching on today, but I want to talk about pretend play. And of course, it invites the toddler to basically dress up or pretend or imagine that they are a particular character. Why is the imagination so powerful to be sparked at such a young age?
You know, when I'm imagining, I can be whoever I want to be.
Yeah.
And so many of our toys and even our tech, there's one answer, there's one correct answer. School's
Yes.
about one right answer. And so we want them to be creative. It also enables them to practice things that are perhaps scary. So one of the songs is a good old favorite, Miss Polly Had a Dolly, and going to the doctor can be quite scary. So playing it out helps a child to process their emotions. You know, it also, when I'm playing with someone else, what's great about music and imagination is I can have older playmates and younger playmates, and that's also not that common today, you know, and we learn so much from people who are a little bit older than us, and the older ones learn to lead the younger ones. So imaginary play offers that.
That's powerful. Meg, what are children being exposed to when they listen to music? And should music always be educational or should it be classical?
Look, there is a wonderful educational component, and in fact, all of our songs have an aspect of a little bit of education, like let's count backwards as the spaceship is going to take off.
Yes.
That's a little bit of number concept. But I think music is about much more than that. It's about just having fun. And, you know, I think a lot of our education system now, particularly for toddlers, is skills focused. And what we've done with Play Sense is we've said, no, there's years ahead of them for skills-based education. And at this stage, it's about core capacities, which Lara's mentioned, things like creativity, collaborating with a little friend. And these things are ignited through imaginary play. And that's the role that music must play in our mind.
Well, talking about the role that music must play, the cuteness factor has just gone up a whole nother level on your Feel Good Breakfast Show because Lara Schoenfeld and Meg Forer have come up with this incredible CD called Dinosaur Stomp and Other Pretend Play Songs, and they're going to take us through exactly what it looks like. There are the cuties. Lara, you can take it away.
Hello, fireman.
Look at them. Oh, there's a fireman and a dinosaur, Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Telephone goes ring-a-ding-ding. The fireman runs to pick up. Help me, please, a lady sings. Put out the fire.
Can you put out the fire? Let's put out the fire. Look.
Down the street the engine goes. The firemen see the fire. They climb the ladder with their hose. Higher and higher.
Can you climb, big boy? Let's climb. Yes!
Spider-Man is not a
Flames are hot, incredibly hot. They burn the big red rooftop. Water's cold, put out the fire. Put out the fire.
Okay, we're gonna do it again. Dance, come dance.
Telephone goes ring-a-ding-ding. The fireman runs to pick up. Help me, please, a lady sings. Put out the fire.
Oh, that is absolutely incredible. The cuteness factor has gone up to the whole next level. Thank you so much, Lara. Thank you so much to the young ones. Yes, you can come stand here by us, Mr. Fireman. Hey, so cutie. Everyone, there's a princess, Spider-Man is here, there's a dinosaur, and a tiger. Oh, there we go. Meg, of course, why, once again, is this such an essential resource for parents and maybe for preschools where toddlers are involved?
So I think that all preschools should have an imaginary play slot, and all parents have to drive from A to B and need music playing in the car.
Yes.
And I used to go mad with the songs going over and over in my car with my kids.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great CD for that. You know, get involved with your kids. Preschools use it to engage their little ones in imaginary play. It is downloadable from iTunes and from the Google Play Store, so they can get hold of it there.
Wonderful. Is there a fireman in the house? Well, there you go. That
he's
is
a
our
star.
Baby Talk segment for today. It's about the importance of music and pretend play in a toddler's life. Thanking our experts this morning for bringing this incredible resource to our attention. It is called Dinosaur Stomp and Other Pretend Play Songs.